Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Elaine Pardi. Is this correct, or how
Yeah,
do you pronounce
perfect.
me?
Party.
Oh, thank you so much. Our today, I see the network was offline a little bit, I hope, but yeah, I talked. Okay, let me introduce you to our audience. You are a communication stylist and the founder of the dot theory. You help clients connect the dots in their life. Empowerment. This sounds really fantastic. So, can you tell us a little bit more about you and your clients?
Sure, yeah. So in 2018, I started to work with a assessment that allowed people to see how they were perceived by other people communicating. So a little bit different than some of the other assessments that are out there that are talked about your powers or strengths. This is how the world sees you as a communicator. And so I really like that because I feel like sometimes it's hard for us to grab a hold of how we are as a communicator, and we don't necessarily think about ourselves. People are driven to think about others. So this kind of reflects others in you and allows you to see kind of how you bring your best self forward. And so there are 7 different ways of communicating, and two of those will be what we call kind of your highest platform to talk or speak. And then the other ones kind of fall into line. And we all do all of them all the time, but there's definitely certain things that are more driven by your unique way of style of communication. So that's how I talk with my clients about what their ways of communication are, and just kind of, it's also a ability to like go through your life and see how you've communicated from being very young to what you used to play, what you used to do, and how that actually does thread through. So that's where that dot theory comes in. It's the idea of connecting the dots in your life that get you to where you are today. And part of that has to do with communication.
Wow, I absolutely love this. Thank you so much for explaining it a little bit because when I read in your bio communication stylist, I had no idea what this means. The word stylist I associate or yeah with the hairdresser or so, stylist.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's one of the reasons I chose that word to partner along with communication, because we all have a certain style. If you go to a hairdresser, they kind of know what looks best, or you might, you might kind of be guided by them. And so with my work, I like to guide people to understand more about what style of communication will look best on them, the way they're authentically present themselves. So it's kind of the same thing. So I'm happy that you picked that up.
Yes, I was because when I see words or yeah, when I read words, then I imagine them in my mind. Of course,
Mhm.
yeah, and the first thing was the hairdresser or or a magazine where you find nice pictures. And when you
Right.
do this with language or yeah, communication, then I love also that you dissect the language, the communication of someone from its
Yes.
beginning, where we
Yeah.
learn to speak, or also maybe you deal with different languages. For me, it's not my mother language. English,
Mhm.
you hear this immediately, and then we can also talk about language paradigms or am I a different person when I use a different language, for
Right.
example.
Right.
Yeah, but let's get back to our main topic. It's inspiration. And my first question is, what inspires you?
Um, my um, my career when I first started, I'm a registered nurse. So what inspired me to do that was caring about people. And I did nursing for several years, probably 10 to 12 years of nursing. And then I had to transition into a different role, and that was being a mom. So I had to take care of 3 kids. So my inspiration started with my nursing career about caring for people. and then I moved to caring for my kids. And then I landed a job in a PR firm, and then that allowed me to think about caring for businesses. And so, what's inspired me has been those three significant roles in my life that I continue to spread out into being inspired by that to what I'm doing now. So, that's really what's inspired me, is my career path has inspired me to where I am today.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much. And who inspires you?
I thought you might ask that question. So I was thinking about it beforehand, but decided not to think about it too much because I've had many people that have inspired me. My parents have obviously inspired me. They've both passed away, so they're not here with me right now, but their example and their positivity really has inspired me to always have that cup half full kind of mentality. My husband inspires me because he works very hard and he has such a gift that he gives out to the world. And I see his commitment and his love for his job, and then um, love for the family too. So he would be another person that I would say inspired me. And I'm going to stop there because I think I could go on with a few others, but I'll stop with those three.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, that makes totally sense. That are you the closest persons are the ones who inspire you the most. Wow, I love that
Mm,
because we have the tendency to look yeah, so far away, like mentors or people we didn't even meet in person, right? And
mhm.
then we say this person inspired me. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it all comes back to what is close to us, ourself and the loved ones, of course. And we allow them to inspire us. So thank you very, very much for that thought. And how do you inspire other people?
Mm. I feel that I inspire people by showing up. I give them time to talk, which inspires them to share. And so that's how I think I move through life is I really try to be there for people in whatever capacity they need. Because I know that that's important in life, and I want to be seen, I guess. It inspires me to think about what my legacy is going to be, what people will look back and smile about me. And I want that to be that I was there for them and supported them. So that's kind
Oh,
of where my work even comes into play is I want to be there to support people. And yeah, so that inspires me.
yes, I love that you talked about legacy and how do you like that people remember you? People think about you. Yes. Wow.
Right.
Thank you so much. And what are your gifts and talents?
I love to do photography. That would be a hobby that I have. I've used it a little bit for some more significant roles in my life. I love painting. Artwork has been since I was little. My mom, again, I kind of go back to my mom, who was my inspiration in some ways. She painted, and so I saw her doing that. And I have recently repicked up painting. I did it when the kids were littler, and now being that I'm an empty nester, I have time to do a few more things like that. So painting has been something that I have jumped back into that I really love.
Mhm.
So I would say the arts, things to do where creating is part of me.
Yes, that sounds good. Thank you so much. And what do other people love about you?
Mm. Uh, I think my like calm, relaxed nature about things. I feel like I have a gift of being calm around sometimes people that are maybe not feeling so calm. And that might again come back to that nursing route of my career and my life. I feel like I help people with calming themselves, meditations. I do a lot of meditations, and create them almost daily for people to listen to. And so the feedback I get on that, I think really kind of shows that, like, what do people expect from me? They or notice from me is that calm, relaxed path that I create.
Wow. You talked in the question earlier, you said also that you show up for people, and
Mhm.
you create the space for them, you hold the space. Would you call it also presence, to be present in the
Yes.
moment?
Yes. And that's part of like in meditations, a lot of times it's talking about just being present in this moment, like this moment that we have together right now. You know, when you think about that, you think about all the pieces that came together that were here, that, it's just really an amazing thing. So, yes, I think being present with people, sometimes listening and sometimes offering suggestions or support. Sometimes and people need to be validated that you hear them and understand them. Even if you're not in the same situation as them, if something happens, sometimes people just need to be validated and they just need to know that somebody's listening and cares.
Yes. I would say to be seen as well. When
Mhm.
you see someone in the present moment and you pay attention, you give your attention,
So
this is a
true.
great gift to be able to do that
Yeah.
for someone else, you know? And when you talked about this moment, this is why I created this podcast. It is not about the listening or so, it's about the creating the moment. Because
Mhm.
for the listeners, it is in their now moment, this is true. But for us, it is the past when someone else is listening to this. So the fun is in the creative process.
Yes. Yeah. And I think sharing your story or sharing something about you can be so powerful to inspire someone else. So definitely see that.
Wow. And what are your goals for 2024?
So I am in the midst of creating a couple workshops that I want to put forward. I am dedicated to some time related to nursing for those workshops to support nurses in what is a difficult time for them, where there's a nursing shortage, there's a long hours, a lot that's going on for them. So I have been doing some resilience training that will be completed in 2024 here. So I'm going to partner that with my communication work that I've been doing and create some courses for nurses. And then I'm also working on creating some courses for people that are caring for their loved ones during illness or sickness or hospice situations. So I'll be putting those together. So those are two big goals that I have for this year. And I would love to host another retreat. I've done that before and gathered people at my cabin and had a weekend where we kind of unplugged and gathered and met and had a beautiful experience. And I really hope to do that again.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So when people reach out to you after listening to this episode and they can get more information about your programs, courses, workshops, I like the word
Mhm.
workshop because this sounds, or it is about the doing part, the
Mhm.
implementation, doing exercises and not just listening also.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if people want to reach out to me, definitely by my email is a great way to get a hold of me. My website is available too, so I can share both of those if you want me to now. Uh, and it's a uh, great chance to connect. And just sometimes it's a matter of like just a discovery call, because I know sometimes, you need to talk to somebody to really understand maybe what they can do for you. So I always offer discovery calls so that we can see if, what would work best for you at this point, what your needs are. And if it's not me that I feel I can help you, that's one of the things I always like to do is connect people to other people that I feel like, to serve you best, I need to let this person serve you. So I really try to be very diligent about making sure that I have good communication and understanding what people's needs are, and then can direct them to either one of my own programs or to someone else's if it's more appropriate. So,
Wow, I love that very much. We will put all the links in the show notes to this podcast. So please reach out to Elaine. She's amazing. We know this. She loves connecting people as well, like I do. And my last question is, and it has to do with people reaching out to you. How can people help you with
how can people help me?
help you? Yes. What can we
So
do for you?
I I am working on something that I always am looking for nonprofit names. So if anyone has a nonprofit that they would like to send my way, that would be helpful to me because it's a project I'm working for. I also have a survey that I am surveying nurses. So if there are any nurses out there that would like to answer a very short 6 question survey, it takes probably 3 to 5 minutes at the most. That would be really helpful because I'm using that data to help support the nursing program that I'm putting together, and in hopes of showing it to a couple companies to have really strong data to show the support and need. And so I would appreciate that.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm sure there will be lots of people now reaching out to you. Oh, I'm so happy that we had this interview. And
Yes.
thank you so much
Thank you.
for being a part of it. Yes, and see you in the next episode.